All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. On 1st and 10, Kaiser. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go play action with Roethlisberger. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here? The first sack of the season. Not just in the first game, but in the opening drive. That's the way to get things kicked off.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Graham, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover.
And he's in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are going to take a first quarter lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he spins through. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hodges. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now it's Sony Michel with his first NFL carry. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A gain of 11. That time at a Colts first down. A first down throw for Kaiser. And he fires one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Chris Long. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Dancing to his left. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, Michel. And some space here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throw left side complete. It's Hodges. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round!
Kaiser to throw it. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Solomon Thomas able to finally get him for a loss of 16. And it's going to lead to a fourth down. To punt it away on fourth down, here's Drew Kaiser. Back deep, Antonio Brown. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Jamal Sheard on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here we go. Snickers, you gotta spin. James. Jack 16.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Bud Dupree coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
To throw, Kaiser. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Kaiser now. It got his man complete. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Kaiser on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got it with the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Sony Michel, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger to Mixon on the check down. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down. Looking for his tight end, Clay, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
To Michel on the dump off. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
First down, Kaiser. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Calais Campbell able to get in and bury him well behind the line for a loss of 17. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the gun, Kaiser. And going deep for Hill. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Kaiser. And that is incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman, and it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Off the play fake, Kaiser. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And now running right through him. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And Green with a catch left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Flex round! Flex
Kaiser now to throw on first down. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now Kaiser. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. The kick by Carlson is good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. On second down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Fielded just inside the 20. Shedding the tackle. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
A big-time run there by Sony Michel. 44 yards on the ground. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. To throw is Kaiser. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll throw here. Kaiser. He's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Antonio Callaway with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Colts have got it back to a one-score game. And now the Colts are going to keep the offense on the field as they'll go for 2 here. Kaiser. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The punter Kaiser now out to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On the ground, it's Rennick. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Underneath for Johnson. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. On 1st and 10, Kaiser. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very solid gain of 27. Kaiser now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Play action now. Kaiser. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
A 2nd down throw now for Kaiser. Being chased out left. Kaiser showing what he can do with his legs. It's more than just the arm. He scrambles and picks up the 1st.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a 2nd interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Flex round. Ohio. 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 Ohio.
2nd down, Kaiser. He's going to look deep down the field. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a 1st. This is 3rd down. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Riddick with a carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Roethlisberger will throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
But has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the 2nd half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Emmanuel Ogbah coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Back now in Indianapolis. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A first down throw for Kaiser. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Kaiser on first down. To Michelle on the dump-off. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. Kaiser now. He finds Coleman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Another good reception there. The Colts on the march. Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll throw again. Kaiser. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
First down, Kaiser. Throw left side, complete to QT. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. Now a pitch out to Michelle. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Not your normal call in short yardage, but the toss works very well there. Big people out in front, being physical, and they pick up a 1st down.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Montgomery on the counter. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He couldn't quite find the goal line, but a good run of 8 yards is going to make it an interesting 4th and goal now. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This for the lead in the final stages. The kick by Carlson is good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They begin the drive with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Let's go.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw. And caught right side. Green. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
And they're going to try to eat some clock with Michelle. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Again, it's Michelle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now a first down carry. It's Michelle. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it. Kaiser here looking to throw it. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Chris Long in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Colts, they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're able to eke out the 1-point victory here in the opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Baltimore Ravens come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
up.